Atlantic Ocean stretched endlessly, its waters glittering like shards of sapphire under the rising sun. Dr. Evelyn Carter stood on the deck of the Sea Voyager, gripping the railing tightly as the early morning breeze carried the tang of salt. Her years of studying marine life had sharpened her instincts, and something about today felt off. The waves moved with an unnatural rhythm, and flocks of seabirds circled in chaotic patterns, their cries echoing over the water. "Evelyn!" called Tom Willis, the ship's captain, his voice cutting through the crisp morning air. Evelyn turned to see him waving urgently from the wheelhouse. "We've got something ahead, big and moving weirdly. You need to see this!" She grabbed her binoculars and peered into the distance. A massive, dark shape broke the water's surface, its movements sluggish and labored. As the creature breached, Evelyn's breath caught in her throat. The sleek, smooth body of a humpback whale was obscured by an otherworldly, crusted armor of barnacles. The infestation was grotesque, with the white shells glinting like a ghostly mosaic in the sunlight. "Oh my God," she whispered. Years of research hadn't prepared her for this. The whale's every movement seemed to be a Herculean effort, its once mighty flukes struggling under the oppressive weight of thousands of parasites. "Captain?" Evelyn called, her voice steady despite the turmoil churning within her. "We're going to need backup. I'm calling the Marine Wildlife Rescue Unit." Evelyn's hands trembled slightly as she punched the number into the satellite phone. "This is Dr. Evelyn Carter, aboard the Sea Voyager. We've located an adult humpback whale, approximately 40 feet in length. Severe barnacle infestation covering nearly 80% of its body. It's showing signs of extreme distress." "Understood," came the calm, clipped reply from the other end. "We're dispatching a rescue team immediately. ETA, 45 minutes. By the time the rescue vessel, Blue Haven, arrived, the once serene waters had become a hub of activity. Dr. Marcus Hale, a seasoned marine veterinarian, led the team. His sharp eyes scanned the horizon as he stepped onto Evelyn's boat. "What are we looking at?" he asked, his voice calm but tinged with urgency. Evelyn handed him her binoculars. "Humpback, severely weakened. It's surfacing every 3 minutes, far below the usual interval. The barnacle infestation is horrific." Marcus frowned, lowering the binoculars. "We'll need divers and specialized equipment, but first we have to calm it down. Any sudden movements could cause it to thrash and worsen its condition." Evelyn nodded, her mind racing. "I've worked with acoustic calming techniques during migration studies. If we can broadcast the right frequencies, it might ease the whale's stress." Marcus's eyes lit up. "Do you have the equipment?" "Yes," she replied. "It's experimental, but it's worth a shot." As Evelyn and Marcus set up the underwater speakers, the Coast Guard arrived to establish a safety perimeter. A small crowd began to gather along the distant shoreline, their binoculars and cameras trained on the unfolding drama. Drones hovered above, capturing footage that was already spreading across social media. The first acoustic test sent deep, melodic vibrations through the water. The whale, which had been thrashing weakly, seemed to still. Its movements became less erratic, its breathing evening out slightly. Evelyn felt a spark of hope. "It's working," she said softly, her voice almost a whisper. With the whale momentarily calm, Marcus signaled his dive team. Led by Alex Torres, a veteran diver, the team slipped into the water with quiet precision. Evelyn watched, her heart pounding as they approached the massive creature. The barnacles, thousands of them, formed a thick, jagged shell that covered most of the whale's body. Removing them would be painstakingly slow and fraught with risk. "Beginning removal at Section 1. Alex's voice crackled over the radio. "Barnacle density is higher than expected. This is going to take time. Do what you can," Marcus replied. "We'll keep monitoring the whale's vitals from here." Hours passed. The divers worked methodically, prying off clusters of barnacles and collecting them in mesh bags. Each removal revealed raw, irritated skin beneath. Evelyn's heart ached for the gentle giant. By midday, the sun blazed high in the sky, and the team's exhaustion was evident. But the whale's movements were noticeably freer, its breathing patterns stabilizing. Evelyn felt a surge of hope as she watched the creature slowly reclaim its strength. "Final section," Alex reported. "Skin damage is minimal so far. The whale's responding well." Evelyn and Marcus exchanged a glance of relief. "We're almost there," she said, barely daring to believe it. As the last barnacle was removed, the whale let out a powerful exhale, its blowhole spraying water high into the air. The sound was almost triumphant, a declaration of freedom. The team cheered, their fatigue momentarily forgotten. Evelyn wiped a tear from her cheek. "We did it," she said, her voice trembling with emotion. Marcus placed a hand on her shoulder. "No, you did it. Without your quick thinking, we'd have lost this one." The whale lingered for a moment, as if acknowledging its rescuers, before diving gracefully into the deep. The crowd on shore erupted into applause, their cheers carrying over the water. As the team packed up, Evelyn leaned on the railing, her eyes scanning the now calm ocean. The day had been grueling, but it had also been a reminder of why she had dedicated her life to marine conservation. The whale was gone, but its story, a testament to human compassion and resilience, would live on.